Hello, I hope you are having a great week. I don't run that much. I know some people who are great runners and I'm not one of them. One of the major events that was cancelled in 2020 is the Olympics. Sometimes I love to watch the races. I love to watch the runners. It is incredible to see some people run. There is a difference in the way somebody runs for a short race and somebody runs for a long race. Sometimes you see people make the mistake on a long race of starting too fast and they sprint off and they look like, my goodness, this person's incredible. But they get to a point where they tire and it starts to take its toll. And some of the people who in the same race looked slow and looked like they didn't have a lot going on, they've got way more in their tank and they power through and leave the person that sprinted off at the beginning long behind. There's a lesson for us to learn here. There is a difference in the way that you run in a short race and a long race. When the coronavirus pandemic began in March, many of us considered this to be a short-term occasion that would last for a short time. We're now going into July and March was 4 months ago and there's still some way left to go. And that's encouraging me to consider, how do we run this race? How do we endure this moment? What do we learn? Towards the end of the book of Hebrews, the writer of the book of Hebrews writes, "We are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses." When he mentions that, he or she is referring to the example of these great Christian leaders mentioned before and their incredible lives that they lived in the previous chapter. And he says this to us: "Let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that easily entangles us, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith." We all have individual races to run. And in a bigger picture community way, we're all running the same race that is 2020. We need the right posture, the right strategy, the right approach. We can't fight and change what we can't change, but we can be present in it and say, God, help me to learn, what pace should I have today? What posture should I have today? What approach should I have? And this passage gives the beautiful example of how do we do this? We do this with our eyes fixed on Jesus. We do this with our eyes fixed on Him, not on the certainty or uncertainty of what might happen next, but with the confidence that God knows what's going to happen next. And for us to be effective in running our race and running this race in this moment, at this point in history, the greatest lesson we can learn in how do we run this race is to continue to have our eyes fixed on Jesus. So may I encourage you this week to fix your eyes on Jesus, the pioneer, the perfecter, the example of our faith.